What's up, guys? So I was having a relatively good time tonight, and then I remembered that well, I guess I should turn these around, but let's, I guess, take my word for the fact that you're clean. Well, they're cleanish. The K24 pistons actually cleaned. Well, the K24A2 pistons actually cleaned out really well. Wow, like those, they look very much like forged pistons and not cast pistons, right? They're really impressive. It's not like these motherfuckers, which are clearly cast. And same here. These don't look very clean because I didn't put too much effort into them because of this shit pile right here. Let me see if I can grab a chunk and see how well you can see it. But these are the rings I pulled out of the block that were like damn near seized up, which is the block I'm building now. I can't focus. It's not focusing on it. Anyway, the rings are rusted. They were seized. Every single one. Every single one of the pistons had the ring seized in them. So, oh Christ! I hope I didn't fuck up the audio too bad. Oh, we're a minute 30 into it, so covered up the phone with my hand there for a second. So anyway, the piston rings were seized in every one of the pistons. This isn't the first time I've encountered this. This is probably like the third. This has definitely been the most successful. But that's because I was just, like I said earlier in the Instagram post, I had time tonight, so I was determined to not lose. Now, out of all the pistons that I have that I say that are useless, I think these are probably the most useless. Like, even more useless than the K20A3. Like, I see me using the K20A3 pistons or something before I see me using the K24A4 pistons. But I don't like to let things go to waste. So I'm determined to save it. And also, now that I did this successfully, I think that I have a set of pistons and rods. There was B16 pistons, the PR3 pistons that were pressed onto fucking B18 rods a while back. I think they even have ARP rod bolts. So that was a build that kind of got wasted and turned into a whole mess in itself because the rings were seized in those pistons as well. And the machine shop told me, hey, they're seized up. You want us to get them out and pay extra money? And I was like, nah, fuck that. I ain't paying y'all any extra money to do that. I'll do it myself. And I did a bad job at it. Now, like I said, this is probably the third time I've had this happen. So the first time I had it happen, it was seized, but it wasn't nearly as bad. Like, it wasn't a complete lock-in. Like, I was able to get it out with some digging. I was able to get into the ring gap and pop them out. But these were so bad, just like the B16 pistons I had, where the ring gap was almost non-existent. Like, it was a cunt here. It's locked up that bad. But so what I did was I took my little pocket tool, my snap-on pocket tool, and my rubber mallet, and a lot of patience. I think it probably took me like an hour, maybe even a little longer. But I think the experience was well worth the time. So what I did was I found the high. Okay, so the oil control ring at the bottom isn't so much of a hassle, right? That was easy to deal with. I was able to get that one out relatively easy because it's flimsy. So, and then of course, because it's 3 layers, you have the centerpiece that makes it like a easy way to breach it. So that's easy to take out. It's just the compression rings are hard. So what I did was I found the spot on the ring that was pushing out the furthest. Now it could be a little bump, or it could be a little bit more than a bump. So what I did was I found the highest point. Now this is kind of hard because you're taking this little tip and you're trying to balance it out on this high point and whack it hard as fuck with a hammer. Now, you don't want to fucking smash it too hard just in case you slip and then you hit the ring land, because then you can fuck the piston up, right? And so there's that. So you gotta like try and measure it out. Hopefully the ring where it sticks out isn't on an awkward side, so you don't have to, like, there was a couple times where I was having to balance the rod with my wrist and kind of like pinch the piston so I could whack it. It was only once that I had to do that, so thankfully. And that, so you take it, you smack the high point, and then the ring is going to sink in, right? Now, if you immediately turn it over to the other side thinking, oh, well, it must have pushed out. Well, it didn't, because it's seized and the metal is flexible, so it didn't. But then you go back to that point, and hopefully you hit it at least hard enough to make it go past the surface of the ring lands. So now you have a little bit of a pocket, which gives you a little bit of safety. you have a little bit of pocket. It's pushed in far enough where you can get the tip in so it doesn't slide off, right? So now you can hit it hard as fuck. You hit it hard as fuck, and you do that like 1, 2, 3 solid whacks, and you'll see when you flip it over that the ring will start to push out the other side. And then you kind of like migrate down. So you go, so it's you pushed it in, and now you have a raise point. So you go just down the ring land a little bit further. It's right to the point where it's about to pop out, where it's about to break even, where you still have the little dip. You smack it there too, and you keep doing that. And eventually, what happens is one of the two one of the two sides of the gap will pop out, and then you can go in and shovel it out. And now it seems like a very simple and quick thing, but it's a delicate process. So, like I said, it took me like an hour or so to get out 8 rings. It fucking sucked. But if you have yourself a set of pistons that you really want to reuse and you really don't want to spend the money, then you can. Also, for any of you guys watching, I've been throwing out on social media today, I need 2 K24A2 rod bolts. Some fuckery going on where today I was going to finish this block. This is going to be done. This is going to be a done job. I was going to ring the pistons and drop them in tonight after I clean them. And they cleaned up really fucking easy. I want to do some digging on this. I want to see if these are forged from the factory or whatnot. But it was really easy to clean these. Like even the carbon buildup, just like I soaked them all on WD-40 before I started touching them. But then when I went back with my pocket tool, like the carbon just came off like fucking butter, man. It was nothing. Like so anyway, I was gonna finish that short block, and here we got this problem. See, bolts, no bolts. So I need 2 K24A2 rod bolts. I would hate to have to fucking buy forged rods for something that was supposed to be we're gonna do stock boost. And here's my situation right now. So if you're here for just how to fix these rings, you can bounce out because I'm done talking about that. I'm gonna talk about some other shit real quick before I wrap it up. So the whole thing was stock K24, and I have a K24A2 head and you know the block and everything, so I can have a whole long block, a stock long block ready like in no time. But this whole fucking engine block assembly is gonna get held up because of 2 fucking bolts. And the whole point is I've got a forged piston and rod fucking K20 block down here. So why the fuck would I want to spend pistons rod money on another one, right? So then I was like, well, I could do this one stock, right? Because here's the Z3 pistons and rods, right? These are the ones that came out of the Z3. Now the mains out of the Z3 were shit. I had to throw them away. But the crank is healthy, and the rods fucking shits are healthy, right? And if you were watching the other day, what was I gonna see? Yeah, the rod bearings are good to go. So I could I'm gonna rebuild with these. Now, like I was saying, if you watched the other day, you see me say that the mains, the K series mains they're interchangeable, right? So I could use the mains off of the box I just bought, and have these, and then I just need rings, and that block would be done. But I think I'm gonna sell the Z3. I mean, if I can, hopefully, I could use some extra money for other things. I could use that to buy my turbo parts or whatnot. Or I'm gonna need to buy an exhaust manifold for the NA K24. So I could, and I think if I buy the one I want to get, it's also going to be expensive. So if I sell that Z3 short block, that would go towards that, or some of it at least would. Shit, if I get the money I want to get, I'll buy both manifolds. I'll buy the NA exhaust manifold and I'll buy the goddamn turbo one. Anyway, there's no rush to get this K24 done, but I figure instead of having parts like scattered, taking up space in different places, I could assemble the engine, have a long block, and it's holding all the parts. So that would be that. Man, it really fucking sucks. It's disappointing, I was gonna be done with this block. This is gonna be like a 2-day quick project turnaround here, but I'm missing 2 fucking rod bolts. And I only know one guy personally that builds a lot of Ks, but he doesn't have any fucking stock ones. eBay doesn't have any stock ones online right now. I would have to buy a stock rod, and people are charging a lot of money, and I'm not going to spend that kind of money for just 2 fucking bolts. So this K24 build is probably going to be on hold for a while now until I can find somebody that's got bolts that can give me. But on the other side, I'm going to order some piston rings and do this Z3. I'm not going to film this one though. I'm just going to put it together real quick. So I'm going to put the Z3 together. Yeah, what was I going to say? Oh yeah. So one of the questions I got earlier tonight while I was at work was, you know, like if you watched me assemble the K24 short block the other day, I was putting RTV everywhere and shit, and I got to the main bolt holes on the oil pump side or the timing side, and I didn't go all the way through. Now he asked me like why I didn't RTV that, and my initial off the cuff answer was, well, I don't want to get the RTV in the bolt holes. And that was the truth. I didn't want to get the RTV in the bolt hole, so I stopped where I did and backed off. But anyway, when I got home, you know, I was thinking about the question again. So I went and I checked one of my dirty blocks, one of my dirty K's, short blocks that I haven't cleaned yet, to see the squeeze, the over squeeze from the RTV from the factory from Honda. And I realized that there was no RTV in that spot in the area around the fucking the point of contention of question, right? Which is right here in this area, right? There's no RTV at all here. So you'll see mine. I have a little over squeeze because I got close to the main bolt, but I stopped. So there's over squeeze here, but there's not on the Honda block. It stops right here where the bridge is, right? And then I was like, oh, well, I know why. Fucking duh. Because it doesn't matter if oil leaks past this point. Why? Because it's a timing chain setup, not a timing belt. So the oil pump, the oil pan, it protrudes out to here. Why? Because the chain flows through it to keep lubricated. So it doesn't matter if any oil seeps out past this point right here where I stop putting the RTV. Why? Because it's going to just run into the fucking oil pan right away. So it's not really a leak at all. Remember, the timing cover, you know, it all meshes together and there's oil flowing inside this area to keep all the fucking moving parts lubricated. Alright guys, cool. So, yeah, that's wrapping that up. I really hope that one of you guys can get me some fucking bolts. I'm not asking them for free. I'll pay for them. Just please don't try to rate me for 2 rod bolts. Somebody out there's got to be sitting on some fucking on a blown engine they don't mind selling me some parts off of. I'd appreciate it. It would suck to go have to try and find somebody with a hole in the block to try and get just 2 rod bolts. I'd do it though, but that would take a while to find. Alright guys, thanks for watching and peace.